Title: After 10 years of marriage, I was tired of the routine and decided to take a young lover from my work. Then, Onatari, he vanished without a word. I cried for months, hurt by how he left me. 10 years later, I was in my husband's garage and found a ring that belonged to my lover. Start: I should have known the garage would betray me before my husband ever did. It was always too neat, too organized. His kingdom of order in a life where I'd been quietly unraveling. But I didn't walk in searching for ghosts. I walked in because a shelf squeaked the night before, and something inside me decided it was time to listen. I wasn't prepared for what I found. The ring wasn't hidden well. It rolled from behind a stack of oil-stained rags. When I shifted a box, as if eager to be found, I recognized it instantly. The thin silver band, the tiny scratch on the inside where he'd once dropped it on my office floor. My lover, my distraction, my escape, the young man who replaced the silence in my life with something that felt like color and then disappeared without a word. My heart stopped. 10 years had passed since heavenished, and still my body remembered the shape of that grief. I knelt down slowly, the concrete cold through my jeans. I picked up the ring, felt the weight of the truth beginning to settle. Then I saw the tape hidden under a loose floorboard labeled with his name. My pulse became a quiet drum. That's when my husband walked in, wiping grease from his hands, wearing that familiar, steady smile. So he said, eyes glinting, "You want to find out a secret from 5 years ago?" 5 years, not 10. His words were a confession disguised as conversation. And I smiled back because he had no idea how long I'd been waiting for this. I didn't confront him. Not then. I slid the ring into my pocket, stepped away from the floorboard, and pretended it'd seen nothing. I thanked him for fixing the car. I kissed his cheek, and all the while, I replayed every memory he didn't know I'd kept. He thought he was stepping into the first act of a revelation. He never realized he was stepping into the final act of mere revenge. Our marriage had been a decade of rituals, morning coffee, polite laughter, separate silences. We were a picture-frame marriage, presentable from afar, empty up close. The lover, though, he'd been warmth, a flash of youth, off desire, of attention I had forgotten how to crave. He'd laugh with his whole chest, hold me like I was something worth holding. I'd felt alive around him, and then he vanished. No goodbye, no call, no explanation. I blamed myself. I blamed him. Eventually, it blamed time. But now looking back, I see clearly. The night he disappeared, my husband came home later than usual. His boots had mud on them, wet, fresh. I never explained. I never asked. Over the years, memories sharpened. His sudden interest in my schedule, his questions about the new co-worker, the way he listened too carefully when my phone buzzed. I dismissed the red flags because it was easier to believe it being abandoned than to believe I'd lived beside monster. But the ring in the garage made the truth impossible to ignore. And once the truth exists, revenge becomes a simple, logical path that I didn't storm. I observed. I spent weeks cataloging his habits. When he left, where he went, what he locked away. I hired a private investigator, not to find my lover, but to map my husband's movements. I filed quiet requests for our financial records. I copied keys. I placed a micro-recorder in his truck. Every detail became a thread in the trap I was building. I never confronted him because confrontation is noise, revenge, ice architecture. I learned that he'd been siphoning money from our joint account for years. I learned the name of the storage unit he visited twice a month. I learned he wasn't as smart as he believed. People like him never imagine a person they underestimate could be planning their downfall with a steady hand. I started with the finances, affluent transfer to an account in my maiden name, legal documents prepared without a single raised suspicion, a lawyer who specialized in quiet exits. Then I targeted his social world carefully, indirectly, anonymous tips about discrepancies in his business, small whispers in the right ears, a trail of doubt that grew with each passing week. The final step was the storage unit. I needed evidence, closure, a weapon. When I unlocked it, the smell hit me first. Damp wood, old metal, something else faint, sour. I found boxes, clothes that weren't his, a phone I recognized, and a second to pun labeled. I didn't watch it then. Not yet. Revenge demands patience. I waited until a Sunday morning, the hour when a house was too quiet and secrets were loudest. He was in the kitchen humming, making eggs like a man with nothing on his conscience. I placed the tape on the table. The one from the garage, he said. No, I said. The one from your storage unit. His face changed. Not fear, calculation. He reached for the tape, but I held it tighter. I know about the money, I continued. The storage unit, the missing lover. His jaw tightened. You don't know anything. Booty did. I played the tape. He lunged for it, but I stepped back. My lawyer stepped out from the hallway behind me, phone recording everything. My husband froze. The tape played his voice, arguing, threatening, my lover crying. Then a thud. My husband exhaled. His world cracked. Mine solidified. You planned this? He whispered. For years, I said. The police loved the tape. The financial crimes were just garnish. The storage unit sealed his fate. He screamed betrayal when they led him away. I didn't respond because betrayal is inaction. Justice is a decision. Final statement. Now, when I walk into the garage, I don't feel fear. I feel truth. 10 years ago, I thought I'd lost a lover. But what I really lost was midblindness. What I gained was power. And he have no regrets.